Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Ayan, so today I'll be giving you updates coming from the Department of Education and some concerns and issues related to Department of Education. At isa sa mga i-share natin dito is itong Memorandum number 372 dated April 19, 2021 or yung ating guidance on COVID-19 vaccination for DepEd teaching and non-teaching personnel because we are actually in line to be vaccinated. So titignan natin dito what are the things that we need to follow and what we are going to know. Ayan. So babasahin ko lamang po dito in the second paragraph that the government's directions pertaining to COVID-19 vaccinations are laid out in the Philippine National Deployment and Vaccination Plan for the COVID-19 vaccines and further elaborated in the DOH issuances. Ayan. So, nandito po yung ating DepEd personnel have 3 levels of participation. So, tatandaan po natin ha, we have actually 3 levels of participation in ongoing implementations of this national vaccination plan. So, number 1, we are actually recipients or the beneficiaries. These are the personal level or the qualified recipients of the vaccine because not all of our teaching personnel or non-teaching personnel is actually allowed or qualified kasi iti-check pa po kung qualified ka, so you will be belong to this stage number 1 which is the recipient or the beneficiaries. Number 2 natin, as member of the following bodies in the vaccination plan which is either task force and sub-task groups or vaccination team, ayan, or else vaccinations operation as center, ayan. And number 3 natin na level is as champion for advocacy on vaccination. So, ibig sabihin, you are actually assigned in the advocacy on the vaccinations. Ayan. So, as what I have said a while ago that we are in the 3 levels. So, yung number 1 kanina is as recipients or the beneficiaries. So, tayo po yung recipients or the beneficiaries. So, titignan natin dito what are the things that we are going to remember and that we need to be informed na napaka-importante po dito. Ayan. So, as qualified recipients of the vaccine, the vaccination remains to be personal and voluntary decisions of every personnel. So, tatandaan lang po natin, if you are actually qualified pagkatapos nang na-check ng ating local government unit, especially yung mga doctors natin na kung saan tayo na division na assign, kung qualified ka, hindi naman siya persahan but it is actually voluntary na decision mo kung magpapaturo ka sa ating vaccine. Ayan. So, ito yung tatandaan natin as recipients or beneficiaries na dapat mong malaman. Ayan. Okay, number 1 natin is actually DepEd personnel who wish to be vaccinated are advised to register for the free vaccination through the respective local government units. Ayan. So, I guess yung mga division ninyo, magpapalabas yan ng memorandum in which you will be coordinated with the local government units na kung saan kayo division na belong. And of course, doon po magsisimula yung pag-vaccinate na if you are qualified. Ayan. So, yun po yung number 1 to inform or have have registered in your local vaccinations in the local government. Ayan. Okay? So, number 2 natin, bilang beneficiaries, DepEd personnel are advised to take note of which priority populations group they belong and to register accordingly. So, if you are a beneficiaries, kasi level ito na meron tayong priority eligible letter A or priority eligible kung saan ka belong dito. Okay, ito yung phase 1 natin na kung saan yung A1, those are the frontline workers in health facilities, both national and local, private and public, health and professionals and non-professionals like students in health and allied professionals courses with clinical responsibility, nursing aides, janitors, barangay health workers, etc. So, yun po yung priority A1 natin. Priority A2 natin, those are the senior citizens, age 60 years old and above. Actually, nag-start na po yung vaccination sa ating mga senior citizens. Okay, A3, yung phase A3 natin, adults with comorbidities not observed included in the preceding category. So, mamaya titignan natin what are those comorbidities na mabilong dito sa A3 natin. Sa A4 naman, those are the frontline personnel in essential sectors, both public and private sectors, including education frontliners. So tayo po dito, yung mga education frontliners and uniform personnel, and those in working sectors identify the IATF that are directly client-facing and cannot dutifully meet minimum public health standards, because na ongoing na po yung yung senior citizens, so probably kasali na po tayo sa next batch to be vaccinated. And number 5 or A5 natin is the poor population based on the National Household Targeting System for Poverty Reduction, not otherwise included in the preceding categories. So, yun po yung mga phases natin. Ayan ang dapat natin tandaan. Okay? So, in addition, if they fit the criteria for the higher priority group A1 to A3, they do need not to wait for the rollout for the later priority groups. Okay? So, kung belong sila doon sa A1 to A3 priority. Ito lang pong tatandaan natin that DepEd school health personnel who belong to priority group A1, ayan, yung nabasa ko kanina, those have not had vaccinated may coordinate with their LGUs. And number 2 natin, DepEd personnel who fit the A2 requirement of 60 years old and above have also option to register ahead of the teaching in the non-teaching group for the vaccinations. Ito po is kung DepEd personnel ka ngayon, both non-teaching and non-teaching personnel na belong doon sa A1 to A3, ito po yung dapat tandaan natin. Letter C natin, DepEd personnel who fit the requirements for A3 prioritization may register early so that they will be promptly given immunizations. Ayan, so take note po, hindi po ito required but you will be encouraged to be vaccinated. Ayan. Okay? Next natin is ito. And letter D natin, DepEd personnel who fit the criteria for priority A5 may also register as soon as possible. Ayan. Okay? Next natin natatandaan is itong number 3 natin, which is DepEd personnel are enjoined to keep themselves updated about the latest guidelines from the DOH about vaccination, especially on the eligibility, deferment, and the requirements for medical clearance and certifications, among others. So, yun po yung tatandaan natin, mga kaguro. Ayan. Next naman, ito, napaka-importante nitong number 4 natin, which is DepEd personnel are instructed to keep a record of their vaccination details for future reporting within DepEd. So, hindi lang kasi isang beses ka ma-vaccinate, but there are series of vaccination. So, you need to keep your records for future reporting purposes. Ayan. So, I hope nakuha po natin yon. Ayan. Okay? Next natin, number 5 is DepEd personnel are reminded to continue to strictly observe the required health standards before, during, and even after the vaccination. So, it doesn't mean na vaccinate ka na, you are actually immune. Hindi po yun. So, you need to follow the health protocols pa rin. Ayan. Okay? Number 6 natin, DepEd personnel are assured by the DOH that any adverse event following immunization shall be properly managed. Kasi yung ating DOH, meron naman mga guidelines and other mechanism to ensure that all the vaccine recipients are properly monitored for manifestations at any AFI cases are properly referred and managed. Ayan. So, yun po yung ibinibigay na assurance ng ating Department of Health. Ayan. So, DepEd will also include the reports in its monitoring of vaccinations concerns and collections of data. Ayan. So, thank you so much for watching. And this memo is actually signed by our Undersecretary Pasqua, the Chairperson DepEd Task Force for COVID-19. So, I hope I give you a little knowledge and the reminders kung sa part naman po ng ating Department of Education. So, kung saan tayo belong sa phase A1 to A5 and kung saan tayo makipag-connect. So, as of now, we are doing seminars, trainings, and information disseminations regarding the vaccinations of the entire DepEd family. Thank you so much for watching. God bless everyone.